Why is nobody talking about how to treat tendonitis? Everybody keeps asking me, how do I treat the tendonitis? What am I going to do with the tendonitis? Tendonitis is really not that well understood. I know you don't even know maybe what a tendon is, and I mean that nicely, okay? Tendons connect your muscles to your bone. And there is a transition between your muscle to your tendon and then your tendon to bone, which means when you have tendonitis, there's two areas that you can really get it at. Insertional tendonitis, so say your gastroc inserts into the calcaneus, or midpoint, okay? Non-insertional tendonitis. And it's really weird how it happens. So only inflammation happens in the beginning. This is why NSAIDs and anti-inflammatories and steroids don't always work for tendonitis, because it's not always inflamed. Only in the initial beginning is it inflamed. Because tendonitis, I think, has a chemical soup of garbage that we don't fully understand at the cellular level, that has a lot of missing pieces that we don't get. For instance, I think your hormones have a lot to do with your tendonitis. I think where you are with your hormone volatility messes with how your estrogen receptors are expressing themselves. And I think we didn't think about this because we spent decades on arthritis and ACLs. Nobody was talking about connective tissue and soft tissue. I was, because I'm a women's health physical therapist. And when soft tissue goes bad, people have pain. So tendonitis is not all that understood. I can tell you as a physical therapist, though, that eccentric exercises are the thing that we know in research that will help you with your tendonitis. Now, there's a caveat to that. You still have to make sure you have mobility in the joint that is affected, not too much, not too little. You have to have strength in the joint above and below, and you have to have motion. And there's a lot of moving pieces, okay? This is why a physical therapist is incredibly helpful. But your physical therapist will make sure the joints above, below, the actual joint is doing what it's supposed to. And then the muscle that is giving you tendonitis, that muscle's action. So if it's an elbow flexion issue, if you have a bicep tendonitis, the concentric, the action of the bicep is flexing the elbow. So the eccentric load for the bicep would be holding a weight and lowering it. So if you have tendonitis at a random body part, eccentric strengthening is the way we heal it, because no pill is going to take away tendonitis, because your tendons have to remodel. And you know, when you break a bone, you're casted for 6 weeks so that bone can remodel. I actually think bones remodel easier than soft tissue. I think bones are seen, if you break it, it's so bad. Meanwhile, it is much easier to break a bone than to get out of soft tissue hell. Ask anyone who has had tendonitis. It took them years, okay? Years to remodel. Do you know how often you get DEXA scans? Every 2 years. So I think tendons are jerkier than bones. You're probably better off breaking a bone than getting tendonitis, because you get casted and people feel bad for you. They know. So anyway, with that being said, there is no pill to fix tendonitis. There is meds in the beginning to control inflammation. But at this time, we spent all this other time doing mechanics. So all we got is mechanical information, but I swear to you, there is a chemical underlying soup of hell in tendonitis, because women have horrible tendonitis, perimenopause, postmenopause. Women have horrible tendonitis when they are postpartum. Dequer veins. Have you had the pain in your thumb? It happens 4 times more in women than men, and very specifically postpartum women, where there is a hormone fluctuation. Okay? I think hormones have a lot to do with tendonitis, and I think the tendonitis impairs your ability to move. And then because you don't move, then you get atrophied. And it's a host of things. But this is why no one tells you how to treat tendonitis, because they really don't know. We did a terrible job researching tendonitis. Maybe it'll change. I don't know. Probably not. So, sorry, probably not. And it's a beet soup.